Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on Elemental Shaman. Elemental Shaman is a self-explanatory deck of a shaman deck that runs loads of elementals and is really the only other class that in the history of Hearthstone, as well as in recent sets, have actually managed to get some forms of actual elemental support. Those range from anything from the general the neutral, that's the word, the neutral support for elementals like your flame revenants, to the shaman specific ones like Granite Forgeborn and Lilypad Lurkers, amongst others. And what the deck wants to do is, much like its mage counterpart, is just early on play elementals and keep a chain going, ideally each turn if possible, and just play at minimum an elemental every turn, or ideally the best elemental in any given situation, to where in the late game we can eventually turn things like Blaze Caller into damage, or even like Alakir or Azurite Giant, basically any of our top high-end ones, as a way to curve into them, and hopefully by then, with our board of somewhat synergistic minions, we will be able to eventually translate that board presence into damage and into wins. Now, before we get into this one thing I have noticed in the difference between between a mage elementalist and a shaman elementalist is that mage has more damage producers, in that, like, how do I word this, where what's a good example? We'll use the Lilypad Lurker, where, say, a mage would get things like the Tainted Revenant that, like, if you played an elemental last turn, deals 7 damage split. Mage has more access to more aggressive elementals, where shaman has access to more control-y elementals, much like the Lilypad Lurker. So really, this deck doesn't play as aggressively. You have to play a little slower. I guess you could sort of call it like a mid-rangey list, where, like, in between the middle of like a control deck and an aggro deck. But it is still a lot of fun. Anywho, don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more in the future, and if you have any sort of questions like I don't have X, what about Y, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. This list is pretty friendly. You can, for the most part, replace one elemental with another or something, but you do need to keep a high density of them in order for the deck to really work. Anywho, well, that out of the way, we'll go on now to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little elemental shaman list. And this is honestly, we're going to throw back the Alakir, but for the most part, this is pretty good. It'll let us play, elementals early on. If we're lucky at all, we'll be able to curve into an Azurite Giant on 4 or 5. Of course, it will depend on the draw, has to be said. Since we don't have any elementals to fill the gap, there's a possibility that this might go wrong. But we'll see. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, come hang out with Dad. You want to park the butt, or do you want some pets and then you're gonna park the butt? Yeah. Ooh, okay. I don't know how this will work, but we'll see. In that case, yeah, we'll go ahead and just start the chain. We are going to try and keep the coin in order to, keep the chain going, really. Since we have the Azurite Giant in our hand. I'm glad I didn't craft any of these, and I'm getting the golden ones from the reward pass, because this card is, and this is a take that has already been had by many, it's only good in an elemental deck, and you need to jump through a lot of hoops to get it to be okay at that. So if you wanted to exclude an Azurite Giant from the list, you could, and the deck would be fine. Anywho, go ahead and amalgam and find another one. We have a coin next turn, but I like to save the coin, so we'll go for a Rock Rager. Granted, not the most impactful one, has to be said. But, We take it. It's fine. Is it discover the card or play the card? Can I see your quest? Hello? Why would... Are you really that in the tank? Okay. I gotta be honest, I didn't think one of those Lotus cards from, I think, Mean Streets of Gadgetstan would warrant such a think session. There we go. Got there eventually. Okay, so it is just discover them. Or add. Okay. It's an important distinction. I actually might coin into the Forgeborn then. The Forgeborn is a nice little card, and it sort of shows how the difference in the ramping situation for Shaman works as opposed to Mage, where Mage can get like a bigger burst immediately for like to sort of to cheat a couple mana's worth in one turn, where Shaman ramp reduces all of your stuff by increments of like usually I think only one, but there are multiple instances of it, so and neither one is good or bad. It's just more that it's a unique what's the word? A unique quirk of how the elemental packages vary from individual class to class. And we'll just go face with the rest. I'm concerned about their Ancient Blades thing being able to really mess up our board-based deck, so I'm just going to try and get in some damage early on. Yeah, that is a good one. Although I will be able to play an Azurite Giant next turn, which is nice. That'll be 3. Okay, I don't think there's a way our opponent both gets the quest complete and manages to... Yeah, there's no way he also manages to play the... Or to get the blades, basically. As my brain starts to spill out of my ears. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, bet. Go ahead and just play the Giant now. Again, ignoring go face, our bodies are bigger than theirs. Granted, they can just trade in with the blades, which is not, like, the best. What are we going to do next turn? Maybe a dang blasted elemental. And, like, a rock rager, maybe? Just throw taunts in front of our Azurite Giant to keep the Giant going face, possibly. Since their deck is, by its very nature, like, really RNG dependent, you can't... I mean, you can try to make, you know, some informed plans, but you just gotta be able to roll with the punches with the RNG that is just gonna be inherent to, like, a Burgle-style list. Sorry, what was that card? Discover a quick draw? Well, fuck that plan, I guess. That's actually pretty good, because that's a pretty narrow, like band of, like, what's going to be in that. Not bad. In that case, I guess we'll play a Wailing Vapor. And we'll do a Brass Elemental. Then the Rock Rager. Yeah, we'll go ahead and trade. Better to trade and be able to continually push our damage. A part of me wanted to, like, not trade and try and, like, be greedy and keep a board, but I don't think that's the responsible play. Oh, it doesn't... Okay, so I guess it doesn't count dormant minions in that, which is fine. And the Fire Plume Harbinger, another example of how the ramp packages differ. Go ahead and play that. Then I guess we'll do a Slogger and one of the Elementals. And just start chipping through the taunts. I actually don't think I've gone against a Burgle Rogue, least of all with the quest, in the 2 weeks of testing I've spent with this deck, actually. And, like, normally RNG stuff bothers me, but, like, Burgle Rogue is an exception because it's usually so RNG that, like, I mean, granted, if they get particularly high rolls, It's a guaranteed way to make me salty. Has to be said. But usually it's like not that bad. But one thing I will remark on is like a weakness of the deck that like I have noticed. The deck does sort of lack for card draw, so you can quickly like run out of steam. So if you wanted to say cut a couple of elementals and do like an ancestral knowledge or that 4 mana draw 2 thing that like draws 2 minions, whatever that card's called, like that could be pretty good for keeping you having some. Ooh, we'll do 1 amalgam, sure, to keep your card draw going, so you aren't like totally out of luck here. Now, what is that card? Oh, that's a random one. I think I am gonna start ignoring it. I'm starting to run out of steam, and they aren't. So I gotta like try and make something happen here. What? Okay. That is an option. Oh, right. My totem is elemental. Okay. Let's see. Rogue, Paladin, Mage, Hunter. Yeah, really, Burgle has, like, okay card draw. Air quotes you can't see me make. Just because it has so many ways of, like, being able to, generate cards. That's actually pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and do an elementary reaction. Okay, that helps. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that because I want the cards on my deck. I didn't even think. Right, for 2 seconds I forgot they played the secret card. Okay. That makes me feel better, and then I'm going to be able to, like, fight back for the board here, which is nice. Is it start of... End of your turn. Okay. You know, that might actually not... I mean, it's RNG, of course, so it could be bad or good. But, like, I don't necessarily see that being, like, the worst thing ever. We'll see. I think I will do the Walking Mountain here and just, like, clean up their board a little bit. Or try to. Alright, what are we drawing here? That's actually kind of very helpful. I think our plan remains the same. I actually kind of want to keep that alive. Weirdly. It's one of those, if he wants to, like, draw me cards, basically, like, I'm okay with that. And the fact that we got really lucky and, like, got a Hex is, like, very nice. Sketchy, yeah, Sketchy Stranger would, in fact, trigger their Burgle. I actually really like our opponent's deck. It's, like, a really interesting version of Burgle Rogue. And I probably, if I had that particular quest, I probably would have already made, like, a version of it. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll just do a Walking Mountain again. It would suck if this gets, like, what's the word? Objected? I think we'll finally go ahead and get rid of him. Next turn, we can do the 1 Amalgam Band. Maybe we do some Thought Steal for some card draw. Just largely has to... Or we literally just need to see what'll happen. That is a card. Oh, okay. To be fair, our opponent kind of did need to kill that. I was really going to mess them up if they didn't. Yeah, we'll just play another one. Why not? We can't go face, sadly, so we might as well clean up their little board here. I don't think... Divine Shield, Lifesteal, Poisonous, Reborn, Rush. Okay, no. There's no charge in that, so... No, from another class. Okay, so that wouldn't work. I mean, okay. That's fine. It's not the most interesting, but it's fine. I don't remember which 3 tribes I've played, so I guess we're just gonna see. Divine Shield, Taunt Me. Okay, that's not bad. We take those. And then next turn, we can always Thought Steal, if nothing else, and see what we draw. And this is, now that we actually have a free moment here, and I try to do my best to... well, that sucks. Anyway, now that we have a free moment, this will likely be one of those games that only, or videos of Hearthstone only has 2 games in it, just because I am very much strapped for like free time today. And as you can see, these games are going a little long anyway, so that has to be said. I guess we'll Thought Steal first. It's not great, but we didn't really have an option. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Hell yeah! I'm going to save the Revenant until we actually, like... Hang on. Let's stretch. Until we have more elementals to play to get use out of it. I think it's gotta be Canal Slogger. And eventually, at some point, the Zephyrus is going to be online, which is lovely. And it is copies, so we know one of the colossal minions that he got was the Leviathan. Granted, we don't know what the other 2 are, which is an issue. Really, he doesn't get rid of the big body. Does he have something else? That would qualify as something else. I mean, okay. Alright, opponent, what are we doing here? Oh, get the fuck out of here. Okay, our opponent's getting really lucky. Oh, mistake. Okay, I was like, what could you have for 0 mana that you would play in a Burgle list? Sure. Okay, that's pretty good. In that case, a couple Revenants, followed by a Slogger. Pardon the sneeze. Okay, I did manage to get to the microphone before the second sneeze. I guess we just get rid of the biggest thing. And play our Prince Renathal. Ah, crap. Oh, I apologize. For some reason, I'm super sneezy now. I was doing fine for a really long time. Man, the fact that one of those elementary reactions is on the bottom is, like, really painful. Oh, goody. He's playing my deck, too. Sure, fine. It's the immune part of that makes that fucking brutal. Oh, fuck me. That's the only... Oh, that's... Yeah, I think that's the last spell that was in my deck. This is going swimmingly. I think at this rate our opponent might win, which isn't great. I'm so sorry about being this sniffly. I really do apologize. But I'm only one man. Go ahead and play the Living Prairie, because it's a thing that resolves. Let's see. Trade 1/1s there. Yeah, just try and get rid of the biggest stuff on their board that we can. A healing totem would be great, but really anything will work. That is a fine card in the style list. I mean, I know he discovered it, but, like... I'm pretty sure that, yeah, this is a neutral. Cool. Okay, so that's the card he copied. Okay. Oh, God. Well... It's looking bad. It has to be said. But we're not, like, dead, so I guess we can keep going. I guess I should be somewhat grateful to our opponent for playing with this food, since it allows me to get footage. We'll just play our little Frostfin Chomper. Much better, like most of the elementals are... that are lower on the curve are way better early game on curve as opposed to late game. And all of this testing aside, while I do enjoy Elemental Shaman, I think I like enjoy as a aggro player at heart the much more like damage and stuff that you can push out, and like the much bigger like spikes of power you can get that come with a mage elemental list. My God. Then I do a shaman elemental list. Oh, come on. I can't wait for this to be turned on. Go ahead and play the brass elemental then, and just keep on trying to make it happen. If they aren't running like a what's that? I think it's academic espionage card. I'll be very disappointed in their flavor. Now that I've had time, clearly the Ancient Blades, because our deck is so board-based, is like absolutely messing us up, because we aren't even... Okay, that's it. Yeah, the Ancient Blades is absolutely wrecking our like super board-based deck, and even if they didn't run the quest, and we're just running like a quote normal one, even the normal ones have that Spectral Cutlass, which is like would be equally damaging, since we can't fight for the board against either of those weapons, really. But I mean, that was a good showing for the deck, and the deck didn't do bad, you know, just didn't do great, which is sadly pretty on par for Shaman Elemental. But anywho, on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little Elemental Shaman list. We'll throw back the Blaze Caller, since our deck, I mean, all decks really want, in my opinion, to like find a curve early on, but like Elementals especially need it just for the like synergy of Elementals to work, requiring a chain to be maintained. So in that case, we'll just, you know, play what's on curve. If our opponent is playing some sort of quest list that's gonna like that, this will just happen to come down to like if we can outrun him, we can go faster than his combo basically can go online, then we can win. If we don't, then we die. But, like, we're doing okay. They aren't offering, like, the best, like, answers here. Oh, well, that broke our chain, sadly, so... And moments like this are where... Hang on, I thought this... Okay. Okay, so it does go back. It just didn't go back then. I guess we'll do the Amalgam of the Deep first. And I think we just have to accept the fact if our opponent has a... oh, man. Yeah. If they have a Flame Ward, then they just have it and we're in pain and misery. But they don't. We'll take that. Oop, hi, sweetheart. Hello. I love you. Thank you. Yeah. Solid Alibi will do it. That will slow us down. In that case, all we can do is kind of just hope to squeeze what little damage you can in. I wouldn't be the most surprised if that secret is like just a ice block. Okay, our board is pretty full. It's pretty big. We'll see if our opponent, you know, responds or... Oh, God. That's really brutal. We'll probably get another alibi. But weirdly, like, I think we're still kind of doing okay. Now, sadly, this does break the elemental chain. But, like, we also have a full board, so I can't get too upset. Because, yeah, even through, like, 2, probably going into 3 solid alibis, like, he is still at 7 life. Okay, so that is what he got. So that would have, really, maybe he already has the other ice block in hand? Because, I mean, I guess there's arguments to be made that both are good. Let's see, we go down to 6. I think there's only like 2 or 3 hits. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and play Alec here. And then just keep going face and try and pop our opponent's block here, because that's almost certainly what they have. Another perk of, even if they do manage to keep on setting up solid alibis or like any various ways of like stalling, I mean, we are... I don't think I care. We can also just, you know, swing out some damage with some SWAT insects here. Okay, would that be... Wait, did that not draw anything? Sorry, does he only have 1 ice block? That's so ballsy. Okay. In that case, we're just going to take it a little slow here. Because, yeah, almost certainly. Yeah, that is an ice block. So, he either only runs 1 ice block, or he has the second one in hand. Which would explain why the draw your secret, make it 0 thing, whatever that card's called, actually bricked. That Magister, whatever his name is, could also be the play here. Yeah. This is one of those situations where, like, yeah, if our opponent, like, shields drop for a turn, we got him. Sure. Okay, that's the second one. I think he can... I know he can get 1 more with that, like, Magister Dawn Grasp, or whatever that mage legendary is that recasts, a spell from each school. Is he gonna do it? Okay, reverb. So we got, what, 2 reverbs. I guess, Echo of Medivh, maybe? Okay, he's drawing. He's doing the thing. He's getting some mana. Drawing some cards. Pardon. I do apologize about the cat using the little scratch toys in the background. But better, you know. Better that than nothing. Hi, sweetheart. Okay, they're down to very little cards in deck. I guess we just gotta see if they have it. Draw 2 cards. Well, that's cool. Oh, that's not what... Oh, Molten Reflection. That's the card. There we go. Okay, so I'm almost certain he got it, and that's fine. We were at a really good point where, you know, against a combo deck, we got to, and I talk about this a lot of the time in my videos, both in Magic and in Hearthstone, and we'll let this play out, where we got to the point where we made our opponent have to have the thing, where if they had, in this case, the combo, they had to have the combo or they died. They just happened to have it. Something inherently wrong, and it's like, okay, because at least this combo is like pretty respectful of, you know, my time, and it's not going to take forever to kill me. It's just going to throw enough fireballs at me to kill me. But I honestly, like, I feel pretty good about this list. Or about this video, sorry. And even the list, while we have it for a moment, I do enjoy the list. It is fun. I just think it's like, of the 2 decks that got elemental support, it just, or who have gotten elemental support. Let me rephrase that. I just think Shaman is the weaker of the 2, and that's okay. I mean, in Wild, Shaman has like your even Shamans of the world that are really strong, so not everything's gonna hit. And even then, despite these 2 losses in this game, if you like elementals and you already happen to have a lot, and you also are needing a Shaman deck to like grind out some quest with, the deck is fine. It will do fine. It, to its credit, it basically did get me, you know, from the start of gold to here. So, you know, it's not like, how do I word that? It's not bad. It's just like, as you can see in gold, I don't think this list would get you higher, but I also don't have any aspirations to get any higher, because any more past the middle, it's one of those, any game starts to get like real unfun. But, you know, this list is fine. It's fun. Go ahead and run it. It's not gonna like get you to #1 legend or whatever the hell. But if you like elementals and you like Shaman and you want to have a good time and get some quest, run it. It'll be fine. Just understand what you're getting into. Anywho, and again, I apologize for this being a two game video. I'm running out of time, and I have things I have to do. But I think honestly, both of these games are like pretty. What's the word? They're pretty demonstrative of Elemental Shaman. All that rambling out of the way, thank you all for watching. Like the video if you like it, sub if you like me. If you have questions or generally nice comments, leave them down below and I'll respond to what I see. Thank you all, be kind, and stay warm out there. Bye-bye.